My name is Maureen Lewis. I'm a retired teacher, and this is my channel, Malu Stories, where I recall many of the experiences I had both personally and in the classroom. At the university, I did English and history, and I told you in an earlier story that I was hired to teach history at a school, and the morning of my first class, I learned that I was teaching English. And I enjoyed that very well. When I came to my new school, I got mostly history, but I did have English classes as well. And I love English. I love the language. I love Shakespeare. I love many of the authors. But many of my students did not share that love. So I tried my best to get them interested in the class and to do little things to make it come alive for them. So one year we're doing The Merchant of Venice. And in The Merchant of Venice, one of the characters, Bassanio, he needed to get some money. So he went to borrow some money from this man named Shylock. So the boys were very puzzled. Oh, he went to borrow the money because he wanted to court a woman. So the boys were very puzzled about that, because they said, but miss, why you have to go and borrow money to court a woman? I said, but when you go on a date, you need money. You know, you have to dress properly. And at the time, there was a song about the man having his diamond socks and thing, and his three-piece suit and thing. So I said to him, for example, look at that man. He has to get his three-piece suit and thing. You don't have to get a three-piece suit, you know, but you need to dress nice. You can't go to the lady house looking like Booger Yaga. You know, you have to buy her chocolates, and you have to buy her candy, you know, and flowers. So you treat her nice, you know. Remember, you know, you're not the only person who might like her, you know. Okay, so you have to make her see that you're a gentleman. So I said to them, I hope you're not like those boys that I used to go to high school with, you know. They didn't take out any of us that they went to school with. But when they went out with the girls who went to girls' school, who don't know how they stay. And they would invite these girls to the movies and tell them to meet them inside, because they didn't want to pay for them. So I'm just hoping that you're not like that. The boys them said, miss, would never do that. I said, I'm told, please, hear one boy. Yeah, we wouldn't do that. Because if we tell her to meet us inside, who going to pay for us? There was this other incident now in another class where I was teaching Julius Caesar. One of the characters said to his wife, you mean more to me than the ruddy drops that come to my sad heart. So I said, miss, what that mean? So he's saying that he loves her more than the very blood in his veins that go to his heart. So here I'm about, miss, you can hold on a minute? I said, sure. Why though? Say, miss, I want to write it down. I'm going to use that on a girl today. So in another part of it now, they said that Julius Caesar was deaf in one ear. So somebody wanted to talk to him. So he said, come around and whisper it into my ear. And the boy said, miss, that not sound right, you know. Oh man, want a man to come whisper in me. You know, so Julius Caesar gay. I said, how did you get that from that? But they found gay into everything. Further on in the story, Brutus said to the fellow, he was playing some instrument or other, and he called the fellow and said, let me play on your instrument. And they started laughing. I said, what you laughing about, Mr. Kai? You don't know. And they took that over into my other classes, you know, because I remember one time I was teaching about the abolitionists, and the textbook that I had been teaching from for years, that I myself used when I was in school, and it said, a boy was reading and he read, Wilberforce was a gay young man. And laughing ensued and they crack up. I said, what's the problem? They said, miss, you know, here, Wilberforce is gay. I said, no, it does not mean that. It means that he was happy-go-lucky. Because if you read other parts about Wilberforce, he didn't care about anything. And so they wanted him to get involved. But they were showing how he moved from being carefree to being very helpful with the abolition. But I said, miss, you can't stay there. It's because you don't know what o'clock a strike. So English classes turned out to be very interesting, because the boys didn't want to learn English, you know, because they felt like they knew it already. Market, they didn't even speak English, you know. Whenever I get a new set of boys in grade 10, I always go over the fundamentals. So I went to the classroom and I started. That day I had planned to look at parts of speech and then follow it up another class with figures of speech. So I asked them if they remember the parts of speech. Of course, I didn't remember all of them, but different boys were able to mention until we got all of them. And then I started asking them now to make sentences and tell the parts of speech. But, miss, where you take man for? We know English, miss. We know parts of speech, We know noun, verb, adverb, pronoun. I say, do you know how to use them? Of course we know how to use them. So I said, okay. I'm going to give you 10 sentences. And I'm going to ask you to find just the noun and the verb in those sentences. And if you get all 10 right, we won't hear a word about this again. But if not, we're going to go a little bit deeper into this. So I gave them the 10 sentences. And none of them got even half of them right. So when I decided to continue the lesson, they just shut up and said, okay, miss. All right, you win. And so it went.